Welcome. I'm Desiree Stafford. I'm so excited to have you here today because I help coaches, consultants, and service-based solopreneurs triple and even quadruple their incomes without working harder. All right? And my bold promise for you today is that I'm going to show you how to avoid the 3 costly mistakes that kill cash flow so that you can boost your income to a consistent 5 figures a month within 90 days and grow a sustainable business with ease. Right? Now, you may be thinking, all right, that sounds too good to be true, Desiree. And I know, I totally get it. There's a ton of hype in marketing today. This is not that. And if you can give me 60 to 75 minutes of your full time and attention, I'm going to show you how you can do that. Because you already know deep down, this is what you want, this is what you deserve. You just don't know how to make it a reality yet. But it is possible for you. And I'm going to show you just how simple it can be. All right? Okay, cool. Because what I want to show you to do today in this training is really how you can accelerate your income growth. You know, I meet so many entrepreneurs on a consistent basis who struggle with income. They make money, but it's up and down. They haven't put together the right strategies. They haven't done certain things. A lot of times it's just some tweaks that need to be made in order for them to really generate cash flow on a consistent basis. So we're going to be talking about that today. We're going to be talking about what it is that you can do to bring in money consistently, dramatically increase your income without having to work harder. So that's a big fear that a lot of folks have, is that they're going to have to work really, really hard to make a lot of money. I get it because I was there. So I want you to know that that does not have to be your reality. And all I need is your attention today so that I can show you how to do this in your business as well. So what I want to do is introduce myself briefly. My name is Desiree Stafford, and I essentially help my clients make a lot more money. I help them make money so that they can free up their time to really go out and enjoy their lives with the people that they care about, all while still making a huge impact on the clients that they serve. Okay? And I like to help them make money because it allows people to have the freedom that they really desire. So you're going to have to bear with me a little bit because I have not done a webinar in ages. So I might be a little bit slow moving the slides and things like that. So please be patient with me. And if you're not seeing something on your screen that I'm sharing with you, just let me know in the chat bar. Okay? So by now you should be seeing the second slide, which is a woman with questions all around her head. And that's really about, you know, a lot of times we have questions about how to grow our business. We don't know who to ask. You know, there's a lot of information floating around on the internet. You know, Google is everyone's best friend, but what that causes often is information overload. So when I'm sharing with you that it's really possible for you to make a lot more money in your business, this is really a possibility. It can be a reality for you if you really allow yourself to kind of suspend your disbelief for a little bit and allow yourself to really get in touch with what it is that you want for your life and what you want for your business and all that kind of stuff, all right? So let me tell you who this is for. This training today really is for you if you do want to make more money, but you don't want to have to work crazy hours, right? So you're probably already feeling burnt out as it is, and you don't want to do that, so that's kind of holding you back from really going out there and exploring ways to make more money. You're tired of chasing shiny objects, and you're really annoyed with spinning your wheels, because when you spin your wheels, I'll share more about that in a little bit, but when you spin your wheels, you know, it can be very self-defeating. You know, you don't get the results that you're looking for, and it's frustrating. It really holds you back. So if you're at a point where you have been chasing shiny objects, you've been going from one thing to the next, and you don't feel like you have a sense of control over your business, you don't feel like you have a sense of focus, then you know that you're at a point where you're ready to grow your business and you're in the right place, okay? If you secretly fear that getting more clients and growing your business is going to create overwhelm for you and cost you your freedom, you're also in the right place. If you want to raise your fees and you want to work with higher end clients, those folks who really value your work and, you know, they respect you and they do what you tell them to do and they get the results that you know that they can get, and you want to do that, but you just haven't had the confidence to really go out there. You haven't had the confidence to really charge what you know your program is worth, then you're in the right place, right? And if you are feeling frustrated with where your business is right now and you don't know if you're doing the right things in the right order, then you're definitely in the right place, because I'm going to be sharing with you the order in which you should do things, all right, so that you can avoid killing your cash flow and burning yourself out and really just grow a simple, sustainable, profitable business, all right, with ease and grace. Okay? So here's what we're going to cover today. I've got a ton of stuff to cover in a short amount of time, all right? So we're going to cover 3 costly mistakes that are killing your cash flow so that, again, you can avoid them and grow a business that is sustainable for you, okay? We're also going to go over a case study of one of my clients and how she's been able to quadruple her fees and create programs. Her program right now is $3,000, but she's got some other programs available as well at a much higher price point. So you're going to learn how to do that. And my client, Shelly, is on the line, so I want to give a shout out to her for being here today. You're also going to know, how you can actually grow a profitable business that feels fun and authentic, right? You want to grow a business that is a true reflection of who and what you are all about. And that's important because a lot of times we build these businesses based on just our skill set. But there's no passion, there's no connection, there's no aliveness. And so when you are faced with the challenges and the resistance that come up as being an entrepreneur, oftentimes it's very difficult to see past that if the business is not built around who you are, okay? And it's also going to help you stand out from the crowd. So we'll talk about that in more detail as we go through this training. You're also going to understand how to implement a marketing strategy that you can use to quickly become a client-getting go-to expert in your niche. And that's even if you don't like marketing, okay? Because I know a ton of people don't like marketing, but that's because you sometimes don't really understand what marketing is about, and it becomes a bigger deal than it needs to be, okay? And then finally, we're going to talk about the exact systems you can put into place to eliminate shiny object syndrome, right? So that you can stop spinning your wheels and achieve more success. How awesome would that be? Now, I promise I'm going to give you everything that I can in the time that we have together today. And for those of you who want to take it further with me, I'm going to share with you how you can do that before we complete today. Fair enough? Now, before I get into the actual training today, I just want to briefly share with you my story, who I am, how I came to be here speaking with you today, so that you have a better understanding of why I'm qualified to share this information with you. Now, my traditional bio says that I'm a business coach, I'm an author, I'm a speaker. But I really see myself as a champion for women entrepreneurs who want to achieve more income and success on their own terms, right? I really have a sweet spot for this. Now, I work with men as well, so if you're a guy and you're here, you're in the right place, you are welcome, okay? I can absolutely relate to the pain that you might be in if you have big financial goals and dreams for your business, but you feel like you don't know how to make it happen, like you don't know how to make it a reality. You know you're gifted, you know you're smart, you know you're talented, you know that you affect amazing change in the people that you serve. But there's this incongruency, right? Where you know it on an intellectual level, but for some reason you haven't been able to break through and allow that to become a reality for you. So we're going to talk about the mistakes that you might be making that are keeping you stuck where you are, so that you can finally turn that situation around for yourself, okay? And I will tell you that, I've worked with some of the best in the industry. I have been featured alongside of people like Christine Closure, Jill Lubin, Adam Urbanski, Milana Lashinsky, Rich Gurman. I've been featured alongside of a lot of top thought leaders and entrepreneurs, and that's for a reason, right? So I have a lot that I want to be able to share with you. And on top of being featured with some of the top people in our industry today, I actually have interviewed many as well. I have an audio podcast where I interview 6- and 7-figure business earners to understand what they're doing to create massive success and momentum in their businesses, okay? So I want to be able to share that with you because I've been a student of success and personal development for years, and I understand how learning from other people and their successes can really create the transformation that you need to achieve the level of success and income that you really want and desire in your life. Now, I got into business, I think it was '06 when I got started, because I've had the rug pulled out from under me, and that didn't feel good. I love having a sense of control over my destiny. I love having a sense of freedom. I love traveling. You can see a picture of me on the slides of me when I was in Paris. You know, I love traveling. I love to explore. I love to have and experience new adventures. And if you're on this call and you're an ambitious entrepreneur, then you probably enjoy those kind of things as well. And so freedom is really important to you. We're going to talk a lot about making money today on this webinar training. But at the root of making money, the reason why I teach it is because I understand that you desire freedom. And being able to create financial security and independence allows you to have that freedom, right? You know, I got started because I'd been laid off from several jobs. None of them were jobs that I loved, but it was just the loss of control over my life and my independence that really freaked me out and led me to want to start a business. But when I started investing in real estate. When I started, I didn't look at it as starting a business. I kind of went into it haphazardly. I saw an opportunity to do something that, you know, I felt drawn to. And, you know, I went in, kind of, you know, you just jump both feet in and started buying property, and things were going really well. And I was super excited. And before I knew it, I had a six-figure income stream running this business part-time while I still had a job, which were great, right? They were great. And then I got a little bit bored. I moved on and I partnered up with someone and we started a cupcake business, which was a lot of fun. I rediscovered my love for baking. It was a ton of fun. I did a lot of marketing and branding for that company. It grew very quickly. But then it got to a point where my partner and I, we were kind of moving in different directions. So we weren't on the same page at the same time. So we decided to part ways amicably. She went on and the business is still thriving and it's wonderful. And I realized that it just wasn't really my thing. What I ended up doing was going back into real estate, and I became a real estate developer. And I partnered up with someone, and, you know, we were given $1 million to invest in property. So when I first came on, we had $1 million cash to go out and buy property and redevelop and et cetera. Kind of fun, right? But now at this point, it was the first time that I was what I considered a full-fledged entrepreneur, because I didn't have a backup income at that point. You know what I mean? And this was, real estate is risky. No matter what stage you're at, no matter how much money you have, it's a risky business. And it was a difficult time, let's say a challenging time in the economy. Not that you couldn't succeed. It was just challenging. And so for me, you know, everything had been so easy. I mean, every business that I had done up until that point just seemed to take off right away. So I wasn't used to the setbacks. I wasn't used to the things that can happen if you don't have the right mindset to be in business. My mindset was that, oh, anything I try, it's like the Midas touch. It worked. This time it didn't work as smoothly as I could. And hindsight is 20/20. So looking back, what was really going on for me was that this was a much bigger business than anything that I had done before. You know, I had never been responsible for over $1 million in assets before. You know, and the work that I did with my partner and some of the strategies that I introduced to that business, we were able to double our assets very, very quickly. It was a lot of money in a very short period of time, and I wasn't prepared for it. And so a lot of my personal self-worth issues came up where I didn't feel that I really deserved to be in that business. And a lot of different things were happening for me. And I saw challenges as stop signs instead of growth signs. And it was a very difficult, painful place for me to be in because I didn't know how to deal with it. And I didn't have anyone to talk to about it. Like, none of my friends were in the same place where I was. And my partner and I had a male partner. Nothing against men. I work with women and men. I do have a soft spot for women. But, you know, we just weren't on the same page either. And our communication wasn't there. And what I noticed was that I kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller in that partnership. So instead of really taking off and flourishing like I thought I would, because I kind of felt like I had arrived, Instead, I felt, oh my gosh, I don't belong here. I'm going to get found out. People are going to know I don't know what I'm doing, you know? And it was really sad because I didn't know what I was doing. I brought a lot of strategies, like I said, that helped us quickly double our assets, but I didn't have the confidence in myself. So that it's a very interesting dynamic when, you know what you're doing, but you don't trust or believe in yourself enough. That's where I see a lot of women get stuck in business. Brilliant, talented women. They make amazing change for their clients. They just don't believe in themselves enough. Oftentimes, it's because there's been negative messages that were reinforced to us. And we don't have people around us who can support us and encourage us because they don't know. You know, they've never been where we are. A lot of times, you know, in our own circles, in our family, we are the pioneers. We're the ones stepping up and saying, I have this big dream and I want it, right? But we often don't have people in our corner who can say, yes, go for it, right? We often don't have that because so many folks are afraid to take the risks that are required for you to take as an entrepreneur. So it can feel isolating and lonely. And that's how I felt. And so when the problems and challenges were coming up and I didn't have anyone to talk to about them, I thought I was doing something wrong. I thought that all the challenges that I was facing meant that I wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur. Broke my heart. And so what happened was that my partner and I decided to close the business. Things weren't going as well as they could have been. We decided to close the business, and I went back to work feeling like a complete failure, feeling like I was never cut out to be in business, just completely doubting myself, tucking my tail between my legs, and going back to corporate, thinking that was it. You know, I was just going to have to live this quiet, little boring life. And I get back to corporate, and I'm like, this cannot be my reality, right? Because part of it, you know, being an entrepreneur is the freedom that it allows you. I'm talking about location independence, you know, the freedom to control how much money you make. Be your own person. Be fully authentic and alive in what you do, and do something that you absolutely love, not something that you feel like you have to do. So when you're an entrepreneur, if you know what you're doing, you really get the best of everything, right? You really get to be who you're meant to be. You don't have to kind of fit yourself. I always equate going back to work feeling like I was trying to fit a circle in a square hole, right? Or vice versa. Like I just didn't fit in that environment any longer because I already had the taste of freedom. And so, you know, if you're in your business right now and you're feeling like, you know, things aren't working well and there's sometimes that little, you know, thought in the back of your mind, you know, I don't really want to go back to work. You want to do whatever you can right now to not make that happen. You want to do whatever you can right now to make sure that your business is the success that it is meant to be, but you never have to go back. One of the reasons I became a coach and a mentor was because I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through because it's very painful. You know, it took me 3 years to build my confidence back up after I essentially quit on myself and felt like I wasn't meant to do the exact thing that I was born to do, the exact thing that I love doing. Okay, so that's a little bit of my story. And I can tell you, I didn't get to where I am today by myself. You know what I mean? I got here today because I finally, number one, found out that there were people that I could talk to, that I could hire coaches and mentors to really, number one, give me the proper perspective so that I didn't see the mistakes that I was making or the challenges that were coming up as a sign to stop. I could actually see them as my opportunity to grow through the experience and become a better entrepreneur, right? I learned, you know, specific skill sets. I learned, you know, strategies and tactics that I needed in order to grow my business so that I could actually shave years off of my learning curve. Since I had already wasted 3 years going back to work, I was not going to waste another 3 years coming out in the business again. So I invested heavily in my own education. And that's something that you want to consider. If you haven't done that yet, that's something that you want to consider because not only do you grow your business, but you grow yourself in the process, which is what you need in order to have a sustainable business, right? So that's how I got to where I am. And I can tell you what I do right now in terms of helping my clients, you know, really understand what their own vision is. And then how do you take that vision? How do you turn that into a business that supports the lifestyle that you want to have, that also impacts the people that you want to serve in a deep, meaningful way and feeds your soul at the same time, all while you're making amazing money, okay? all of that's possible. That's what I do for myself, and that's what I help my clients do as well. So if any of that sounds good to you, you are in the right place. All right, so let's jump into the training. The first mistake that I see people making is they chase shiny objects, right? Bright, shiny object syndrome is what it's called, and it's really folks that don't have focus. There's no focus about their business. They know what they do. They know how to help clients, but they don't have the focus that they need to really be as effective as they could be, right? So when you do that, when you don't have focus, you actually end up going down these little rabbit holes. You might start a new strategy to grow your business. You might think you need to be on LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter or speaking or doing interviews or, a number of things. And all of those things are great. I'm not dissuading you from any of those things. They're all great. But you just got to figure out what strategy you need to get behind. And before you do any of that, you want to be clear about why you're doing it. You want to be clear, what kind of business am I growing, right? If you want to make sure that you grow a business that allows you to have freedom, then you've got to be clear about what kind of business you're growing, right? How many hours is it that you actually want to be working in your business versus on your business? How much money is it that you need to make, not just to get by, but also to be able to afford the things that you really want? You only got one shot at life, so you want to make sure that you're generating enough income on a consistent basis to actually afford the things that you want to have in your life. And that could mean luxury items. It could mean being able to take care of family, being able to take care of friends, being able to put kids through college, being able to take care of older parents. Whatever the need is that you have, you want to make sure that's covered, but then you also want to make sure that you have extra money aside, to take care of your retirement, for example, to take trips to Europe if that's what you want to do. You know what I mean? To treat yourself to a regular spa thing, You want to make sure that you're bringing in enough money that you not only are comfortable, but it's just more than enough, that you never have to worry, that you have the financial security and freedom that you crave. And there are so many entrepreneurs who completely skip over this. They never even take the time to figure that out. And if that's you, or if you've done it in the past but you kind of got away from it, you no longer focus on what your numbers are, then you want to get back to that place. You want to get to understanding what your strategy is, what the strategy is that works for you and your lifestyle, what's it going to take to make that happen. And once you know those numbers, then you can determine how many clients you need to work with every month so that you know that you can generate the income that you need. Then you no longer have to chase shiny objects. Anytime a new strategy or tactic comes up, you can simply go back to the strategy that you know you have for your business and say, well, is this in alignment? If it is, then pursue it. If it's not, then move on and keep focused, okay? Keep focused, because when you don't do that, when you allow yourself to be easily swayed, you're not implementing enough. And when you're not implementing enough, you're losing momentum, okay? You lose momentum. And when you lose momentum, it's almost as if you have to start all over again, okay? If you've ever noticed, anytime you take a break from generating leads, for example, or you take a long break from speaking, anything like that, you'll notice getting back into the swing of things can be harder for you, right? Sometimes you have to go through and face the resistance all over again, and you don't want to do that. You don't want to lose momentum, so nail down your strategy, okay? I'll share with you really quickly. One of my clients, Gail, she got really clear about what her numbers were and the kind of business that she wanted. And you could see the slides. You could see what she shared about that. And it was really that once she understood what her numbers were, she also understood, what it was going to take for her to reach her goal of breaking through six figures. And once she knew that, then she could identify, well, she was actually a real estate agent. So what she did was she identified, well, selling houses in the $300,000 range isn't going to get me to my goal fast enough. So let me increase the level of listings that I go after, and that's what she did. She started to serve a different market so that she could actually generate the kind of income that she needed to make. And then she also saw that by doing that, it would free up her time. And then she was able to make a decision to go back to school and pursue her education. So I think that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? You recognize that your business, especially as a solopreneur, your business and your life are so intertwined. And when you can handle the areas in your business that you need to get handled, it then frees you up to make other important decisions about your life. So this is why knowing what your strategy is and nailing it down is super important. Okay? So the next thing, or the next mistake I see people making that really kills their cash flow is they get lost in the competition, right? Look, the marketplace is still crowded right now. Everyone's doing what you're doing, right? There's so many other people out there who are doing similar things to what you're doing. And you've got to really get clear about what I like to call your sweet spot. Where do you carve out a space in the market that is unique to you? Because if you don't do this, how are your clients going to be able to see you as someone different? How is your client going to be able to see you as not just a commodity, you know, and your service they can get from anyone else versus knowing that you are the one to provide a solution to their problem, right? So you've got to understand what your sweet spot is in the market. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail about how you can do that later on in this training, but just know that that's super important. Getting clear about, you know, what value, like the value that you bring to the marketplace. That's the combination of your skills, your expertise, and also your passion that you incorporate into your business that make you stand out as unique. And one of the things I mentioned that I was going to share with you on this training is, you know, how do you build a business that's all about you? And I don't mean all about you in a very negative way, but I mean a business that's based on who you are and what you're really about. And it's important because, A, it allows you to grow a business that's sustainable because you don't feel like you're pushing a boulder uphill. You're actually doing something that you love, work that you love to do. And when you do that, you naturally attract the clients who are meant to work with you. You naturally attract the people you are called to serve because they want what you offer. The more authentic you can be, the easier it is going to be for you to have clients self-select themselves to work with you, okay? Because they're going to see something that they resonate with in you when you allow yourself to fully come out. And part of that is knowing how to find the skills, the expertise, and the passion that make your business unique, that help you stand out from the crowd. Okay? You also then want to get clear, once you identify what your sweet spot is, part of that is getting clear about who your ideal clients are, right? One of my mentors said to me a long time ago that the who is more important than the what. So you might think that it's all about your service and the work that you can do for people, but it's really about who you want to serve. You want to start with who those folks are first. Then once you understand the people that you are meant to serve, you can understand what solutions you can provide to them based on your unique combination of skill, expertise, and passion. Okay? That is another way that you're really going to carve out a sweet spot in the marketplace. I like to actually call it your profit sweet spot because that's what's really going to make you the money, right? This is how you stand apart from everybody else. And no one can say, well, you know, I know Dawn down the street who does the same thing. Well, does she really exactly? Dawn doesn't have your unique skill, passion, and expertise. She doesn't have that combination that you have. She might offer something similar in terms of a service, but the unique combination that you have, she can't touch it. Okay? So that's another way that you can really stand out from the competition and not get lost in an overcrowded market is to find your sweet spot. When you find your sweet spot, you can then position yourself as a go-to expert in your niche. That is how you're going to make a lot more money, okay? Finding your sweet spot really allows you to command a higher dollar amount because you're specialized, right? And clients like to work with specialists. They want to work with someone that knows how to solve their problem. They want to work with someone who's going to get them results in the shortest amount of time, and they're willing to pay top dollar for that. They don't want a generalist who can help any and everyone. They want someone who can help them with their specific problem, and they want to know that you are the solution provider. So you've got to learn how to position yourself as that solution provider in order to make the kind of money that you want without creating a lot of overwhelm and a lot of hard work for yourself. Right? So what I want to do now is bring on one of my clients, Shelly. She's a business coach like me. She found her sweet spot. And by doing so, she's one of my favorite clients. I love her. She's such a rock star. And by finding her sweet spot, she's been able to go out there, sell her programs with confidence, and really articulate the value of what it is that she's bringing to the marketplace so that her people see her as their ideal solution provider. And I'm going to bring her on so that she can share her own story. So, Shelly, can you hear me?
I can hear you. How are you this morning or afternoon where you are?
I'm awesome. Thanks. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me on your call today.
Oh, thanks for making the time to be here. So I wanted to bring you on the line because, like I said, I think you're such a rock star. You're always in action, making things happen. So why don't you tell us, what your journey has been like? Where were you before we started working together, and where are you now?
Well, before we started working together, I was very frustrated because I was serving my clients, but it was on an hourly basis. And because it was hourly, we were only skimming the surface of their problems. So it was a temporary fix. And then they would come back with the same problem or a similar problem. And I was really getting frustrated with it. I just felt like it wasn't going anywhere, and I painted myself into a corner. And then one day when I heard you, I thought, okay, this is it. I have to go beyond working hourly. But I was a little nervous about it because I wasn't sure if my clients would see the value in it. But once we started working together and I was able to pull a program together and I got clear on who I'm helping and what my profit sweet spot was, I was able to sell the program easily and effortlessly.
That's awesome. So I remember one time you and I spoke and you were sharing with me about, knowing how to talk about what you do. Tell us about how that feels to be able to actually know with confidence how to talk about what you do.
Actually, it feels really good because before I figured it out, I felt like I was using too many words, and I could see people's eyes start to glaze over like, I don't understand what you're saying, and they would start to shut off. So now within a matter of seconds, I can get right to the point, say what I do, and it's a physical reaction within people. They go, oh, I can't believe that you do that. That's so wonderful. And then they lean into me, and it's like, tell me more. So I did a complete switch from turning people off to actually turning them on. And they just want to hear more about it, and it sells itself.
Awesome. So how does that feel to you, like to know that you now bring people in, whereas before you kind of felt you were turning them off? Like how is that impacting your confidence, and how do you see that impacting your business in general?
Well, it shot my confidence up by 100% because I feel like that I can actually step out on a bigger platform now, and I can talk to more people, and I can affect more lives. And I feel like because I'm able to do this, that my clients are happier, and because they're able to help their clients. So it's this ripple effect that goes off. So I'm no longer just skimming the surface and just helping 2 or 3 people. I'm able to affect so many more people that I will never know that I affected.
Cool. So tell us about pricing right now. Now, you said your confidence went through the roof. So talk to us about what you used to charge and where you're charging right now.
Oh, I used to charge $175 an hour, and that was my max. I just sold a 3-month program for $3,000.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
So that's a huge difference because I didn't know that I could do that. I was nervous just taking the fee from $175 to $200. So there was no way that I thought that I could sell anything for $3,000. And to be honest, before that, I didn't know what I was doing because when I thought that I was taking care of a program, what I was doing was taking my hourly services, lumping them together, and calling it a program, which it wasn't. It was just hourly services. It was nothing. It was still skimming at the top, no real value. So once I worked with you, I really understood what a program was about and how to put it together, how to make it valuable for me and my clients.
So how do you think this is going to affect your business long term?
Oh, man, I think it's going to really take my business through the roof, and it's just really going to free up a lot of my time so that I can help my clients and I can still have time to do what I need to do. And prior, when I was doing hourly work, I didn't have a way to hold my clients accountable. So that's why we were only skimming the surface. Now I have a way of holding them accountable, and they really get the benefit of learning, and they get to go through a transformation. So it's just a lot easier to work with people when they're going through a transformation than when they're constantly stuck and not moving forward.
That's cool. So what would you say has been your biggest transformation through this program or through working together?
I would say that my biggest transformation is that I don't have to sit on the other side of a call and listen to this and go, gosh, I wonder if I can do it, because I just knew that I wanted to do it, and I just jumped all in and said, I need help, and I knew that you were the person to help me. My biggest transformation is that not only can it be done, that it is getting done now today. So my future, my big future, is no longer out there. I'm actually living it now, and it's my present time, and I'm actually living it, and I'm enjoying it. So it's no more looking out into the future of someday when. It's actually happening for me right now.
I love that. I love that you are so aware that now is your future. It's not, putting it off for later, 2 years down the line. It's actually happening right now. And you inspire me. I love working with you, and I always share that with you. And again, you're someone who is always in action. You're someone who's so committed to your own growth. You're committed to helping your clients, and you're committed to making your dreams a reality. And you inspire me. So I'm sure people who are listening might want to learn more about you. Can you share how they can reach you?
Sure. You can. They can reach me at awakeningtonewenergies.com, and just go right there to the website.
Awesome. Thanks so much for joining us, Jelly.
Thank you, Desiree.
All right, cool. All right, so Kelly just shared some really cool stuff about, how she was able to take her program or her work from hourly to packaging it up and being able to command a much higher dollar amount working less. And that's what is possible for you as well. And it's really about getting clear about what your value is, getting clear about the people that you serve, and then developing the confidence to actually make it happen and to stay in consistent action throughout the whole process. Shelly is a great example because that's what she does. All of us as entrepreneurs, we face challenges, we try things. You may have already tried packaging your services, for example, right? And maybe it just didn't work out for you, or you had a hard time selling it and things like that. And oftentimes you might think, well, it just doesn't work. And sometimes it's not that it doesn't work. Maybe you just need to tweak it. Like what Shelly said, she had created packages, but what she really needed to do was understand how to do it better so that she could then charge more money. So that's something that you want to think about. If you've tried to get clear about who your ideal clients are, to niche down and know who you want to serve, to create programs, but it just didn't seem to have the outcome that you were looking for, oftentimes you just need a tweak. You don't need to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You just need to learn what it is that you need to tweak, right? So let's talk about the third mistake that I see a lot of folks making, and that really is not having specific systems in place, not knowing how to generate leads on a consistent basis because they don't have systems for it, right? And I can tell you that inconsistent marketing is going to cause you to have unpredictable cash flow, okay? And there are so many entrepreneurs who've been in business for a large number of years. So don't think this is for, folks who are maybe just starting out, only have a couple of years experience. I know a ton of entrepreneurs who've been in business 10, 15 years, and they're still just getting by because they haven't created systems that actually do a lot of the heavy lifting for them and market and attract their ideal clients for them. Okay, so we're going to talk about that in a second. And it's important because if you don't do that, if you're not generating leads on a consistent basis, you are going to be stuck struggling with those huge spikes in income. And I don't care if you're someone who goes out there and you launch a program and then you do another launch 3 months down the line, that's still going to create huge spikes in income. Okay, you want a way to be generating leads consistently every single day, and that can be done, and it doesn't have to be expensive for you. All right. So if you're at a point where you don't know where to find enough of the right client, then all you have to do is learn how to create some systems in order to generate leads to bring in the cash flow every single month. All right. So one of the things, and I've shared this with Shelley and my other clients, one of the things that you can do is to provide education-based content. It's my favorite way to market, in fact, because it can be done without the hype. It can be done so authentically. And the best part about it is that it pre-sells your potential client on wanting to work with you, because you're educating your marketplace about not just what you offer, but what they need to know in order to make a decision. Okay? I'm an educator. It's part of who I am. I love to teach, to train, and it's such an amazing way because people are always looking for more information. Everyone believes that if they just knew one more thing, that it would solve all of their problems. And so because people want that, if you can find a way to create education-based content, right? And it doesn't matter the medium. Your content could be a webinar like we're on today. It could be a teleseminar. It could be an interview that you do, or an interview series, or a video series. It could be a white paper or a PDF. There's so many ways to create education-based content, right? And what we do with that is we turn it into what's called a lead magnet or an attraction tool that you can make available online, that you can make available when you go out and give presentations to other people's audiences, that pre-sells your client, number one, on the problem that it educates your client on the problem that they have and why they need to solve it, and it also pre-sells them on your solution, okay, if it's done the right way. And this is one of the number one strategies for generating leads consistently. What I do with my clients primarily when we get started is I help them put together one of these educational pieces, one of these client attraction tools, and then we advertise it on Facebook. Or you can still use it if you're going out and you're doing, let's say, radio interviews or you're speaking to audiences. You can then offer the option for people to come to your website and opt in to get this lead magnet. So whether you want to grow your business 100% online or you also want to grow it offline, having this marketing piece in place is going to help you generate leads on a consistent basis. Okay? And it really does a lot of the heavy lifting for you. It really, really does. I'll share with you a story about one of my clients, Claudette. She was she is a personal trainer, and she understood, from working together how to do this, how to put her marketing materials in place so that she could actually generate leads consistently. And before we started working together, in her testimonial, she shares that, she didn't know how to target her clients. People would just kind of come into her if they found her, but she didn't know how to create a system to make it happen on purpose, right? So now she knows how to take action, how to find her ideal client, and how to manage her time. And she learned that because she understood from our work together how to create effective systems in her business that actually work, okay? And that's what you're going to need to do if you're at a place where you're kind of feeling, stuck, and you don't know how to generate more leads. You don't know even how to enroll clients when you do get the lead, when you do meet someone, let's say you're out networking, and then you don't know how to turn that prospect into a client. You also need systems for that. You need to have a system for how to have an enrollment conversation that helps the client clearly see where they are versus where they want to be, and then also see the solution that you provide as the one that they need to get the results that they want. All right? So I've shared a lot of stuff with you today, and I want to go over it with you so that you have everything that you need from our call. And, I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit as well, how you can take this further with me. If what you've heard today, if you know that you're making these 3 mistakes and they're killing your cash flow and you actually want to grow a sustainable business, then I'm going to share with you in a little bit how you can do that. So first, what I want to do is go over everything that I've covered and then give you a couple more tips and strategies that can really help you take your business to the next level. So I want to help you make sense of what I've shared with you today. So essentially what I want to do is help you move from information overload, because there was a lot that I covered, to understanding how to create consistent, abundant cash flow, right? That's what we're all after. So the first thing you want to do, like I mentioned, is nail down your strategy. You want to know the exact strategy to turn your business vision into a clear plan for financial success. So what that means is that you want to clarify your business model. You want to choose a business model that is right for you, okay? You also want to know how much money you need to make on a monthly basis and why. What's that money for, okay? You've got to know what your expenses are. You've got to know what those luxury things are that you want. How much is that total, right? And then figure out how you make that happen. How do you make that a reality, okay? Like Shelley said, her reality is now. It's not in the future. It's happening right now. So you've got to take control of what your numbers look like right now and build a business that you want right now, okay? Once you understand how much money you need to make, then you've got to get clear about how many clients you need every single month in order to make that happen. And it's a lot simpler than you think. For example, Shelley is selling one of her programs right now for $3,000 a month. Now, in order to set that up, in order to make, let's say, $15,000 a month, that means that she needs to have 5 clients. Now, compare, getting 5 clients a month, and she could do that, one-on-one if she chooses, or she can do that in a group program, for example. But compare that, $15,000 from 5 clients, to having, I don't even know what the math comes out to be, but at $175 an hour. You know what I mean? $175 an hour. Most of my clients, the work that they do with their one-on-one clients takes them, a couple of hours a month. It could take them 2 to 3 hours a month per client. That's not a lot. So let's say it's 5 one-on-one clients, and either she can do that, as a group program. You can do that as, let's say, you're doing a VIP day for clients, and you might want to charge $2,000 for a VIP day, which is it's one day where you and your client spend focus on one particular problem. You take them from problem to solution in one day. And because people are willing to pay a high dollar amount for fast results, you can charge $3,000 or more for a VIP day. So let's say you do a combination of those. It's only a couple of hours to make $15,000 a month versus if you're at 175, or a lot of people actually are less than that. Shelley was doing okay at the 175 for a person who was charging hourly. So there are a lot of folks who charge $100 an hour. Getting to $15,000 a month is going to be a challenge at that number. You know what I mean? So you really want to think about what those numbers are so that you can make a reality for yourself, the dream that you have. $15,000 a month is $180,000 a year, and it's doable. Okay, there's multiple ways to do it, but just know that it's possible. I mean, if you need 5 clients a month and your average closing ratio is 20%, that means you need to have 25 conversations a month in order to enroll 5 clients. I'm sure you can find 25 people to talk to every single month in order to enroll 5 clients. There are 30 days in a month. You talk to one person a day. Okay? That's how easy this math can be if you take the time to actually look at it. And that's the problem. Most of us don't look at it. We just kind of have this idea, this vague idea of a number that we want to make, but it's not attached to anything. So whether we make it or not doesn't seem consequential, but it is. Now, it really is. And making the kind of money that you want without creating a lot of overwhelm in your life is very doable if you take the time to figure out how to make it happen. All right? So let's talk now about going a little bit deeper into the profit sweet spot. I mentioned that it helps you stand out from the crowd, right? When you're looking at your profit sweet spot, you're identifying who your ideal high-paying clients are, okay? Got to get clear about who they are. I mentioned that earlier on in this training. You also want to combine your skills, your expertise, and your passion. All of those things make you unique. The specific combination that you have separates you from someone else, okay? Shelley and I both do similar things, but our skill set, our expertise, and our passions are different, and that's what separates us, okay? That's why there's no competition, because who we are, what we bring to the table is different. We might be teaching similar things, but who we are is different, okay? So that's how you can really think about going out there and standing on your value, because you know that there's no one else who can touch you. You know what I mean? There's no one else who can touch you. You also want to know how to communicate your value with confidence. As Shelley mentioned, her confidence went through the roof. And when your confidence soars, when you feel really good and enthusiastic about what it is that you do for people, other people can feel it, they can sense it, and it gets them excited to want to work with you. Okay? It really gets them excited to want to work with you. And I'm telling you, that alone can help to pre-sell people into your program. All right? Part of finding your sweet spot also is understanding how to package your services into what I like to call client attractive offers. And the client attractive offer that I focus on is creating your signature system, which is your step-by-step process for helping your clients get the results that they're after. It's a process that you're probably already doing with your clients that helps them get from point A to point B. Okay? One of the reasons you want to do this is because it establishes the fact that you have a proven process that helps people get results. It makes your services much more tangible, and people want tangible results. Confidence is awesome. You know, peace of mind or whatever else you might be selling is great. But unless someone can really wrap their head around the result that they're going to get from working with you, it's going to be difficult for them to make that decision. Okay? So when you can package your services into a client attractive offer that helps people get a specific result, you're going to be much more successful at getting people to see the value in what it is that you provide. And having your signature system also helps to position you as an expert in your niche. You know, just carving out your profit sweet spot, doing all the work that's related to that, and then creating a signature system that brings it all together is what helps you stand out as a go-to person in your niche. It's what helps you get clients. It really, really does. So if you don't have all this kind of stuff in place, it's really something that you want to think about establishing into your business, right? The next thing you want to do is put some systems in place. We talked about you want some systems to do the marketing for you, do the heavy lifting for you, right? Especially if marketing is not your thing. Now, let me share a little bit about what marketing is. To me, marketing is simply telling someone about something that you really believe in. I don't think it's anything more or less than that. You know, I think a lot of people make out this whole big, drama about marketing. They don't want to be pushy, and I totally get it because I don't see myself as a pushy person. But let me tell you something. If you have a service that can provide value for someone, you're doing them a disservice if you don't tell them about it, okay? It's up to them to choose whether or not they're interested, right? But you want to make sure that, if you've got something that can help someone, and if you're in a service-based business, then you've got something that can help somebody, you want to share with them what that is, right? You want to help people if you can, right? You're not going to force anything on them, but if you have the cure for cancer and you know how I have cancer, I want you to tell me, let me choose whether or not I want to take it, and I know that that's kind of a morbid example, but that's what this is really about. A lot of you listening on this training, you have gifts and talents that are so desperately needed by your clients, and you're not willing to do what it takes to get your message out there in a bigger way. You're not willing to do that. And that's a shame. That's a shame. And it may be because you've tried things and it didn't work. It may be because you feel like marketing is too expensive or marketing is too hypey. But I'm telling you, there are ways that you can market effectively. I've already shared with you. One of the number one ways that I market is through education-based content. Okay? That's what you want to do. You want to be putting together lead magnets that provide education-based content that help your client see that you are the solution provider for their problem. Okay? It pre-sells your client on the solution that you offer. Right? And it gives you the kind of positioning that you need in order to charge a lot of money without you feeling like you have to spin your wheels and figure out marketing if that's not what you want to do. Right? That's not what you want to do. You also want to have systems in place that really help make the follow-up process easier for you, that nurtures your leads, okay, so that as you're serving clients and some clients are either getting ready to renew with you or some clients are getting ready to complete with you, you've got another pool of clients getting warmed up, right, because you're nurturing your leads. You're getting them warmed up to work with you. And then finally, in terms of systems, and there are a lot more than what I'm sharing with you today, but these are the main ones I think you need to have in place. The final system I want to talk to you about today is having a system for enrolling clients into your services. One of the systems that I teach is how to have a transformational breakthrough session. This is a one-on-one conversation with someone. It's also called a discovery session, an enrollment session. Essentially, it's a sales call, right? But the way that I do sales calls in my business and the way that I teach my clients how to do them, it's not about the sale, right? It's not about the sale. It's about allowing your prospects to show up on this call and get the help that they need. And that help, hopefully, is signing up for your program if they're an ideal client, okay? Or it could be referring them to someone else if they're not ideal. So the reason that these calls are so important is because it really allows you the opportunity to diagnose what's going on for your prospect. You're not assuming that you know the answer. You're giving your prospect an opportunity to have their unique situation diagnosed by you, right? Because you're the expert, to find out how you can help them. And if your program is a fit, then you offer it. And there's a way that you do that. There's a whole system. There are scripts that we have in order to make this worth your while and their while, okay? But it's important to have that system in place because a lot of times if you don't have that system in place, you get into these phone calls, you don't know what to do, you get nervous, you sometimes don't offer your program or you don't offer it at the price that you want because you don't understand how to guide the conversation in a way that's going to allow for you to do that with comfort and ease. And instead you get nervous, you allow your stuff to come up and it kind of takes you off course, right? And I can tell you, it is, you know, people think that selling something for $200 is easier than selling a program for $3,000 or $5,000. There is no difference. When you understand your value and you understand how to communicate that to your ideal client, you can sell, even if you don't think that you can right now, you can sell $3,000, $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 programs with greater ease than you could a $200 program. Okay? It's all about understanding what the value is, how to package that in the appropriate way, and then how to articulate your value to your ideal client. All right? A lot of it is some internal work that you may have to do. But once you get past that, you will be able to make the kind of money that you want without creating a lot of overwhelm in your life, without having to work crazy hours, without having to be up in the middle of the night, right, to have a successful business. So as you're watching this video, as you're hearing my voice, and as you're reading these words on the webinar, I want you to imagine for yourself what it would feel like to generate 5 figures a month consistently. Okay? Think about the location independence that you can create for yourself, the financial freedom and security that you crave, finally having that, and getting paid well, I mean extremely well, for doing work that you love, work that you feel called to do. Freeing up your time to spend with family and friends, you know, what would that be like? To vacation with your family and friends, whatever you want, the money that you would have to be able to travel, to have control over your destiny, to be able to take care of aging parents the way that you want to live anywhere you want and however you want, to have the confidence to work with higher-end clients, folks who adore you, folks who value you, folks who are a joy to work with, folks who feed your soul, like my clients do. Now, I've got awesome clients. You just heard from one of them today. I love my clients. They feed my soul. So think about that for yourself. What would it be like for you if you're currently working with clients who drain you, who are demanding, who don't do what you ask them to do, so they don't get the results that you know are possible for them? Compare that to how it would feel to generate more money every single month with ease and work with people who are a joy to work with. Think about that for a second. Think about what would get to happen, what that would free up in your life. Now you have joy. You're inspired by the people that you work with. You are excited to get on phone call conversations with them or to lead training workshops with them or to sell them a house. You know, whatever work that you do, or to build their website. I mean, I have clients in all different industries. As I mentioned, real estate agents and web designers and people in the life coaching business and people who do events. So I've had clients who've been in all different industries, right? And they've been able to make this work for them. Now, when I was a real estate developer, I had to think strategy all of the time, right? That's a business that moves really fast. So you've got to understand, how to make the most use out of the time, out of the money, and out of the resources that you have available. So I'm wired to think that way. And I can tell you that using that expertise that I have coming from real estate has helped me help my clients redesign their businesses and create leverage while freeing up their time and making more money. So it can work for you if it's what you want, right? If it's what you want. If it would feel really good for you to make the kind of money that you really want and deserve. Doesn't mean that you're not going to get scared. We all get scared from time to time, but just think about what's possible, right? Now, on the other hand, what happens over the next 3 to 6 months if you decide not to take action now? If you decide not to take the information that you've gotten today on this training and figure out how to fit this into your life and into your business, what happens then? Well, I recently spoke with someone that I spoke with 6 months ago, and she's still in the same spot. 6 months of her life gone. 6 more months of her business the same because she chose not to take action. And it's not a judgment. I mean, this happens to so many people. So many people get scared. We get right up against possibility, and we get scared, just like I did. And I shared with you my story earlier on. I got scared. I went back to work and said, it's not for me. But really what that was fear. I ran back to corporate out of fear. Out of fear. Now, I know what you're thinking. You might be thinking to yourself, okay, Desiree, I get it. This sounds good, but could I really do this? And if you're thinking that, I believe you can do this. And as I promised earlier, here's the offer that I have for you. If you want to take this information, if you want to go from information to transformation, and you want to go further on what you've learned here today, you're at the point where you want to figure out what your strategy is. And you want to understand what your sweet spot is. And you want to learn how to create systems, right, to generate leads consistently for you. Then the offer that I have for you is to have me really focus on you and your business, right? I want to understand your unique situation so that you can take what you've learned today and not just let it be more information, but actually let it be the first step of your transformation, right? I offer a limited number of income breakthrough sessions each month, okay? These are valued at $250, and I do charge for them. So because you're on this training, I'm offering you a complimentary one-on-one private session with me. And this is an opportunity for me to actually diagnose your current situation. And then what I'm going to do is once I hear where you are versus where you want to be, I can give you some feedback. Right? I can help you analyze the business that you have right now, the marketing strategies that you have in place. I can give you feedback and let you know where you can make some tweaks. I can share some strategies with you to really help you increase your income without creating extra work for yourself, without you having to work any harder, right? I'm also going to help you understand what the number one thing is that's been holding you back so that you can actually move past it once and for all. Because the worst thing that you can do is stay stuck, right? You want to be able to move fast so you can grow your business. I'm also going to share with you a plan to achieve the results that you want. So after you share with me what's going on, I'm going to think about where you're at and then give you a plan to get the results that you want. And then finally, we're going to determine what your next best step is so that you can implement immediately. There's no point in you wasting time thinking about what you want to do next. You need to get into action. You've only got one life, all right? You need to get into action because I'll tell you something else. When you sit around and you wait, all it does is create more fear and doubt. That's what happens, right? So what you want to do is actually make decisions. You want to be able to make powerful decisions and move forward and know that you can always course correct along the way, right? So let me just let you know, this opportunity isn't right for everyone. There's a ton of people out there, some folks who really aren't committed. They're not very serious about growing their business, and those aren't the folks that this opportunity is for. The value for this session is $250, and I'm offering it to you complimentary for being on the training today. So, I value my time, as you should as well. So I want to make sure that you know whether or not this is right for you before I share with you how you can go ahead and apply, right? So it is for you if you're ambitious, you're a coach, you're a consultant, or you're a solopreneur with a service-based business. I have a sweet spot for people who are in service-based businesses, okay? Because I know just how difficult it is to sell your services because it feels very personal. It feels like if someone says yes or no, it's all about you. I get it. I get that world because that was my story. So those are the people that I have a sweet spot for. If you sell products right now, if you have a brick and mortar business, I may be able to help you if you want to sell services. Okay? If that's, if you want to start adding services to your business, I can help you in that area. Or if you're selling information products and you want to know how to then take an information product and create a coaching program out of that, then I can work with you as well. I can help you with that. Okay? If you're committed to taking action to get the results that you want, this is the right opportunity for you. If you're ready to transform your business and your life right now, you're not looking to do it 12 months from now. You're looking to get started on that right now. Those are the folks that I really want to spend my time with. And if you know that you're just getting started in your business and now is not the time, that's okay. That's fine. But right now isn't the time for us to chat if you already know that you're not looking to move forward. Okay? I like working with people who want to get up and go really fast. That's a lot of fun for me. And those are the folks that I know that I can be of best service to. So please, if you know you're not ready to move forward, reserve those spots, leave them open for the folks who are. Okay? And then finally, you've got to believe that you're worth investing in so that you can create the financial freedom and security that you crave. Okay? This is super important. Now, I'm not saying that because it means if we have this conversation, you have to invest with me. That's not what I'm saying at all. But you've got to believe in yourself and believe that you're worth investing in. Because if we decide that it's not a fit for you and I to work together, I would love to refer you somewhere else that's going to be the right fit for you. But I got to tell you something. I am a strong believer in coaching and mentorship. I really am. And if you're struggling in your business, it's likely because you don't have the support that you need. So if you and I are not a fit, I want to be able to refer you to someone else who is a fit for you or potentially a fit for you. But it wouldn't make sense for me to do that if you don't believe in investing in yourself. Okay? So that's why that's critical. You've got to believe that you're worth investing in. Okay? So that's what I want to share with you. That's my offer. And right now, you can see where we are time-wise. I think we're okay. Okay. So right now, you might be thinking whether or not this is of value to you, right? Whether or not having a one-on-one conversation is of value to you. Because, maybe you're super busy right now, as we all are. I totally get where that might be coming from. And let me just share something with you. One of the things that I've learned in being in business for myself is that it's very critical for us to have one-on-one support, for us to be able to talk to people who've been there, done that, and can help us get the results that we're after. One of the biggest challenges that I've seen with entrepreneurs is beyond the other things I mentioned to you already. And it really is feeling like you're an island, feeling like you're alone, feeling isolated, not having someone to bounce your ideas off of, not being able to get feedback. Because when you don't have those things, you can feel stuck, right? When you don't have someone to say, yep, that's a good idea, or nope, that's not a good idea, you stay stuck in that place and you start spinning and you create all this stress and anxiety for yourself and you can't move ahead fast enough. When you're able to talk to someone and they can say, that's a great idea, it gives you the confidence to run with it. Or they might say, not a great idea. Then you know to drop it and move on to something else. But when you try to do it all by yourself, thinking you're superwoman like a lot of us do, when you try to do it all by yourself, you create a lot of confusion and doubt that's completely unnecessary. It's completely unnecessary. And I'm offering you an opportunity right now to have a one-on-one conversation with me that you don't have to struggle with that, right? Because there's no reason that you should. There's no reason that you should. And you will get the value of having someone take a look at your unique situation and give you some insight. If I can help you and we think we're a fit, I would love to work with you. If my skills and my passion and my expertise match what you need, then I would be glad to work with you. What I would recommend that you do is really give yourself an opportunity to have a one-on-one session with me to find out, what you can do to turn things around in your business. Because right now, if you're still listening to this training, you know that you want something to be different. So in order to apply for this one-on-one session, what you're going to want to do is visit me online at DesireeStafford.com/VIP. All right? So again, that URL is DesireeStafford.com/VIP. Now, that will take you directly to a page where you can fill out a few questions that will help me understand what's going on with your business, where you are right now, so that I can be better prepared when we have this one-on-one conversation. All right? And it'll help you bypass, other things on my site. You won't have to pay for the session as well. You get it for complimentary. So that's where you want to go. If you want to email me instead, then you're going to want to send an email to info@DesireeStafford.com with the subject line strategy session. Okay? That'll come to my team, and we'll then send you the questionnaire. You'll still have to complete the questionnaire. And then if I review it and I think that it's a good fit, I think I can help you, then we'll get back in touch with you and get you scheduled for a one-on-one session. Fair enough? So I want to share one final thing with you, kind of going along what I was mentioning about this isolation thing and not getting support and not getting feedback and all that kind of stuff. Now, I recently read an article in Inc. magazine that talked about this. They talk about the fact that there are so many entrepreneurs. We see all of the success out there. We don't see the challenges that they go through. We don't see the fact that there are so many entrepreneurs who are struggling because they're not asking for help, right? There are a ton of people out there who should be a lot more successful than they are, but they're unwilling to ask for help, okay? And that, I think, is probably the biggest mistake that will kill your cash flow. Beyond the other 3 mistakes I already mentioned to you, the biggest mistake that I see that kills cash flow is not getting help. Feeling like you can do it all by yourself, you can wear all of the hats, and you don't realize that you have blind spots. We all do. There's a saying that you can't see the picture when you're standing in the frame. I am awesome for my clients. I can zero in and see things that they can't see, but I have to have my own coaches and mentors to do the same for me. Right? So we're all in the same spot. When you're too close to your own business, it's very difficult for you to see something that could be right in your face, something that everyone else can see. So you want to make sure that you're going to folks who get it. You want to make sure that you're speaking to folks who understand your business and can help you grow your business. I specialize in working with people who are in service-based businesses. That's part of my sweet spot, right? So if you're talking to a coach who only knows, let's say, internet marketing strategies, right? Or they only know how to write a book or whatever other types of, coaches there are out there, that's great. But if they don't understand how to help you in your business and help you through the challenges that you have, then they may not be the best fit for you because they don't understand your challenges well enough to help you see what you need to see. So that's the value in having these one-on-one conversations. And look, you may determine after listening to the trainings that I might be the right person for you, someone that you can talk to who can help you get out of the situation that you're in and achieve the success that you really want and deserve, okay? Because it's not just about you. Growing your business is a lot of work, right? You put your blood, sweat, and tears into it. You want it to be successful, and you want to have, you want to reap the fruit of your labor. I totally get it. But I also want you to know, kind of like what Shelly mentioned earlier, is that there are ripple effects to your success, okay? So it isn't just about you. When you can find out what's not working and tweak it and then take your business to the next level, you get to serve more people and you get to serve more people deeply. And the people that you serve then get to impact other people, right? And then they get to impact other people. So there is this ripple effect. So it isn't just about you. So if you're thinking right now, is this of value for my business? I would love for you to think beyond yourself. Think about, when you're at a point, you have this conversation with me and you can see what possibility there is for you, and then see beyond that what your possibility then means to the other people that you serve. Okay? That's how big I want you to think. That's how big I want you to think. It's not just about you. And you need this, right? You're ready, right? You're ready to invest the time to discover what you didn't know, you didn't know. And you know that this consultation is the key to taking your business and your life to the next level fast. So when you're ready to apply for a session right now, all you have to do is visit me online at DesireeSafford.com/VIP. Again, this will allow you to bypass any of the other stuff on my site. You'll go straight to a page where there's an application for you to complete. Once we get that, I'll review it and we'll reach out to you. My team will reach out to you to schedule a one-on-one session with me. You can also send an email to my team at info@DesireeSafford.com with the subject line strategy session. We'll then send you the questionnaire for you to fill out. Once we get it back and I review it, if I feel like I can help you, then I will have my team schedule a one-on-one session with you. All right? So I hope I've made my case. I hope you've gotten a ton of value out of being here on this training with me. I love to share them with you. And if you're at a place where you want to continue to figure it out on your own, I wish you luck with that. But I can tell you, I'm not sure why you would not want to have this consultation when you will get so much value from it. I can really help you identify how to take your business to the next level and help you get the clarity that you need in order to grow your business and, free up the time and make more money that you absolutely deserve. All right? So it has been my pleasure to be here with you, and I hope you got a ton of value out of being here. I've had a ton of fun, and when you're excited to invest the time in yourself and to get my attention focused on you and your business, you know what to do. Visit me online at DesireeSafford.com/VIP. And until we speak again, I hope you're up to big, bold things in your life and in your business. Take care.